Last class we had seen the use of set length function, string buffer. See, if you have a string buffer class object X, okay, how the string buffer class object X can be created with the 15 spaces. String buffer X is equal to new string buffer 15. And X dot set length function, how it will assign, suppose it was 15 spaces, we can assign only 3 spaces. The rest all are gone. Okay. If you have more spaces, than the data, or we are assigning more spaces, okay, with the set length function, we are assigning more spaces, okay, than what actually was there, or what was filled with the data, then all the rest spaces will be filled with class U, backslash U, 4 zeros. Yes, all the rest, whatever is not means remaining, other than the data, or all places will be with null character. Any number of places will be vacant, that will be filled with the null character. Now, and we have seen how X dot append can add a letter, add 5 means 5 as a digit, 5 as a letter will be added to a certain position. X dot delete 5, 8. Okay, how from the 5th location 8 letters will be deleted. So, sorry. So from the 5th letter, from the 5th letter, 8 up to 8 letters they will be deleted. Okay. Reverse function. How it can reverse your string to? Yes, completely. It can reverse your string completely. Okay. Suppose it is ABCD, it will be DCBA. And we have seen how the append function can take also a string argument. That means previously append function was taking numeric argument, now it is taking string argument. That means append function is overloaded. So like that, string buffer class has many functions which are overloaded. Okay, the same function may get different values and do different actions. Okay. See, we have discussed append. We can give also to the append function an object. An already created object, we can supply it. Okay. It can take that object. Suppose you can give an integer object or a double object. So it can take that object. The append function will convert it to string by calling the integer function toString function. Okay, and that string will be added to your or inserted to your string buffer object. Okay. Okay. And we have seen how, see, we have two variables, x equal to 5, y is equal to 2, and you have a string buffer object sb dot append, x equal to in double quotation. So x equal to will be added, and x, next one, only append x, or sb dot append x will add just the value of x 5 to the last of x equal to. We have seen how the string objects are immutable and string buffer objects are mutable. Okay. If you are having a string object, okay, and you are you are creating the string object, using this, suppose a method of the string class. Okay, with the string object, you are using that method to create more strings. That means all these strings are created again and again. Means you are having a number of strings. If you have in a loop, okay, a command of string class to create a string, and you are assigning it to the same variable, same reference variable s. That means s, okay, it looks like that s is the same one, but no, actually s is pointing to different objects now. Okay, s has already pointed to different objects. Okay, it is not the same object. You have written like this: s is equal to s dot firststring. Okay, 2,5. Suppose that means in the same s you are storing. You must be thinking that s is the same one. No, you get different s, different objects, and the s, actually s is one particular variable, reference variable. So number of objects created, it points to them one by one. Okay. But with the string buffer, see, string buffer s, that is a string buffer of reference variable. So if you have a string buffer object and you are using the string buffer function, append function, s dot append some text, you are appending to the s. Okay, s is also here the reference variable pointing to s is also here the reference variable pointing to an object, but this is also kept in a loop. Okay, this is also kept in a loop. Okay, s dot append function. But actually only one object, the same object is there. No other objects are created. And the same s variable is pointing to the same object. Okay. But all this time, this object is changing. Like previously, new objects were created. S was pointing to, each new one. But here, with a string buffer class, a single object is there, and S is always pointing to the changed one. And okay. Why I had told this one, starting middle? Yes. Suppose you have a string buffer object. Okay. Actually, it is better to store spaces from the beginning. Like you have done here, string buffer x is equal to new string buffer 15. Okay. Top spaces are assigned from the beginning. Okay. Okay, suppose you are going to store space. You are going to store the suppose S is having some value. You are going to store 5 times. Okay. 5 times in a new string buffer object. The same as you are going to store in 5 times in a string buffer object. So the string buffer object, new string buffer object are R will be should have S dot length. Okay, S dot length into how many times you want? Suppose you want 5 times. Okay, so that many space the string buffer R should have. Okay, so you should always give the number of allocation. So you should alert the spaces to a string buffer object from the static. Then we have discussed this program. This program that is palindrome program. Class name is palindrome. Here we are calling show palindrome function first with the word mom. So all small letters mom. So it is first given to, look at this, it is first given to the show palindrome function. That is taking this mom in the name of, in this string variable s. Okay, and it is showing that s first. So mom is shown first. Then it is again supplied. This s is again supplied to the is palindrome function. Is palindrome function, you come to the is palindrome function here. So is palindrome function is taking that s, that mom. Okay, and what it is doing with that? It is creating a string buffer object first. Look at this. String buffer object is created with the command new string buffer s. But it is not stored in a string buffer reference variable. Look at this. Simply it is written like this. New string buffer s. Okay. So taking that mom, it is creating a string buffer object. Now once string buffer object is ready, you can use the reverse function. Okay, and you get a new string buffer content. Okay, that is again mom. Mom's reverse is mom. But that is not, okay, that is a string buffer object. Okay, so the reversed one actually is assigned to reversed. The reversed one, what we get, okay, here, original is converted to string buffer, but that is not assigned. Original dot reverse function, okay, original also could have been assigned to a string buffer variable, to a string buffer, okay, a reference variable, but that is not there. But the reverse, after it has been reversed, it is assigned to a string buffer variable that is called reverse. Again, reverse is calling the toString function of it. The reverse is a string buffer object. String buffer class has a toString function. Okay, so that is now called for what? To convert it to string. Why should we convert it to string? We will show it. We will return it. Where it will be returned? Yes? Okay, it should return the true or false. Or not? But it is returning what? A string. No. Oh, sorry. Yes. So, but to that reverse dot toString, why for it is used? To creating into a or changing into a string. Now the string is not returned. Okay. This string is not returned. Okay. But what is returned? It is checked with the s. Original string was s. S dot equals. With that it is checked. Okay. If both the strings are equal, then the result is true. total result is true. So true is returned. True is returned to here. It was, see, look at this. It was the color here. If is palindrome S. Okay. So here it is return. How much return? Either true or false. So mom actually will give you true. So then it will show, if it is true, it will show is a palindrome. Okay. You see, in case of mom it will be true. It will show it is a palindrome. Dad it will be true. Rather it will be no. It will be also true. The capital M-O-M, mom, it will be false. First one is the false. But the second one you see, else, if, else, if, else. Okay. If structure is extended to else if. So else if. Okay. To else if, what we are supplying? Here it is. Else if what it is checking? Is palindrome 2? Yes. So another function is called is palindrome 2. Look at this. Is palindrome 2 and it is taking the value of S. That is again mom, capital M-O-M. So here new string buffer, again the same thing is done. What we have discussed in the is palindrome function. But instead of returning, yes, see, at the time of return, it is checking with the equal ignore case. It is checking the original as with the reverse string, okay, with equal ignore case method. So this time, okay, this capital M, O-M, capital M, small o-M, okay, will be equal to small m, okay, small o and a capital M. So this time it will be true and then that is returned. So here again it is a palindrome if you ignore them. Then you see the last one of the if else extension is else. If both are wrong, that means is palindrome is held as well as the is palindrome 2. Then the last one is else. It will show you is not a palindrome. Okay. So mom will be a palindrome, but look at this. Input stream reader is taking value in the try block. Okay. Input stream reader, ISR, buffer reader, STDIN, all are assigned, all are created, and in the try block it is asking a number. Okay. The number no, it is asking a string, and that string is supplied. Instead of mom, dad, which are directly supplied, now we are supplying a string which is already taken by us, taken from us by the computer at the runtime. Okay. So at the runtime it will ask a value, we will give that value, that is stored in the input, that string is stored in the input, so that is supplied, not mom, dad. So we had gone up to this. Today I told we will read the packages in Java. See, we have different packages in Java. So many we have packages. See, each package, actually this package is called, actually it is, okay, each package is stored in a directory which has the same name as the package. First the package called local packages will be stored in a directory called local packages. So if you have a package that is stored in a directory of the same name. We have seen Java standard API application program interface packages like java.io. Okay, java.lang, all these packages. We can also create our own packages, user-defined packages. Okay, and they will contain an implementation of our classes. Okay, and remember, if you want to use the classes and the interface of it, okay, different package or defined in one package, in another package you want to use that, you need to import the package using the import command. Okay, like here you can see an example. You have a graphics package, and in the graphics package you have circle class. So you have to write import graphics.circle. But you may require in your program to use other classes from the graphic package. So in that, like the graphics package may have a rectangle, triangle, like other objects, other classes, other than this circle class. So in that case, if you want to import more than one classes from the package, you have to write import graphics.star. Okay. And see, if you try to use a class or interface from a package that has not been imported, you have not imported it, then you can encounter, okay, fatal error. Okay, fatal error message. Okay, and see, the classes and interfaces, those are only public, declared to be public, can be used by classes outside the package that they are defined in. Import. Only, so always you need to import. Okay, but there is also a default package. The package, see, default package is always imported by for you. There is food audit, the runtime system automatically imports the package like java.lang package for you. Okay, so you do not have to write import command for getting the java.lang package. You have some other packages. Packages are there to manipulate that date and time. Okay. Here you see java.util package. Java.util package has these classes like a date class, calendar class. Okay. You can individually import them. Import java.util.date, or to import all the classes from the java.util package, you have to write import java.star. Java.util.star. Okay. Now look at this program that uses date class for printing date and time. Class name is date play, and you have a method called also date play. Your object is dated and that object is shown. You always remember that date object has a two-string function. When you are showing, when you are displaying, trying to display this D, that means a reference variable of that object. Okay, it will call the two-string function of that object and show you the value in it. So the value will be the current date. You can see the value looks like this. Wait for Wednesday, for September 24, 20, colon 46, colon 16. That means that is the time. Okay, EST 2003. Okay. EST is, I think, International Standard Time, not Indian Standard. Indian Standard Time is the IST. No, EST. E for, okay, I will tell you next class. Okay. See, you have another class in the util package, that is calendar class. Calendar class, okay, calendar class has a method called getInstance method. It is a class method. Look at this calendar.getInstance function. It is not using the object of the calendar class, rather calendar.getInstance function. And the getInstance function will create the object. Will create the object of the calendar class. Okay. Will apply a object of the calendar class. Okay. And that you can store in a calendar type reference variable. Okay. Calendar type reference variable is your call current. So call current is assigned to the, pointing to the object returned by the calendar.getInstance function. Why it is done like that? Because this calendar class is abstract. If you have an abstract class, you cannot create the object of it directly. Okay. You cannot create the object of it. Rather, a method of it is called to create create an object. And the call current call current object is the pointing to that object. Now, this calendar object can set means put or set some integer values to the day, month, year, hour, minute, second, day of week, etc. Okay. Using some method. Usually two methods are used. These are set method and get method. Both are overloaded. Okay. Set method takes the field value and give and write a value in it. Get method takes the field value and then shows the content. What is there? Like set. You have a calendar object. See, calendar object is call current. So you can write call current dot set, and you can write this field name. Field name is yes. So field name suppose date. Okay, that is calendar dot date, capital date. You can give it one value. Let us tell, okay, today's date is 8. Today's date is 7. Okay. So call current function, a call current object uses this set function to assign in its date field, because you have a number of fields associated with the call current object. One of them is date. Date we don't write directly, we write calendar dot date. Okay. And today's date is how much? 07. You can supply to it. Suppose you want to supply today's month. So what should you write? Tell me. No, not calendar. First you write call current. Call current set. Bracketed calendar dot month in capital, all capital. 08. Okay. Suppose you are told to give the year. Assign the year to the calendar object. What you will do? Calendar object is call current. Call current dot set calendar dot year. 2006. The day of month. Shows the day of the month. That means which day it is. Day of the month. That means 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6 like that. No. You have to supply. Okay. The date of week stores character week. Day of year stores day of the year. Hour stores excess part of the time. Yes. Day of year. Not Monday, Tuesday. Only day of the week is Monday, Tuesday. No, day of the week is 7. Day of the year is 1, 2, 3, 4 up to like that. 365 or 366. Then you can assign hour, minute, second, and millisecond. Okay. So you have set all these values to the call current object. Now you want to get those values and see what is written. So you can use this. Okay. Look at this. Calendar C is equal to calendar dot get instance function. C dot calendar dot month plus 1. Get calendar dot month plus 1. Okay. Get calendar date. then c dot get calendar dot year. Actually, yes, fill up. When you are creating the get using the calendar function, the calendar class object, using the get instance function, then today's date is only stored. You can change it. Top one, it is adding one more month date. First one is month. Suppose it is 11, it will become 12. Okay, then you will test what is coming. Now, packages in Java, other than the util class we have just discussed, we have other packages like java.net, java.lang, java.io, java.awt, java.applet. Okay. So each package here, they describe or define the number of classes, interfaces, exceptions and errors. All of them define a number of classes, interfaces, exceptions and errors. Then we have user-defined packages. When you want to do user-defined packages, okay. You need to write like this. First line will be package statement, package, graphics, semicolon. That means package name will be graphics. Now class circle. Yes. Now you can write the class under job, under this. Okay. To construct the class, you can have also more classes under that first class. Or you can have more files. In all files, first line is package statement. The same package statement. So if you have same package statement, whether in the same file all classes or in the other file, all classes, all are included in the package. So this lesson is over.